What's going on? This is Exotic Sports with another WWE video. And this video is going to be top 5 WWE wrestlers of 2020. This is only counting Raw and SmackDown. It's from January 2020 until now, since, it's real close to the end of the year. And we're just going to start off with number 5. Number 5, I'm going to go with The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. He came into the year as the Universal Champion, and he ended up losing it to Goldberg. But before that, he had matches with The Miz and Daniel Bryan for it. I thought he had a really good title reign, his first title reign earlier this year. And then, of course, he went on to have the Firefly Funhouse match against John Cena at WrestleMania. I thought that was really cool. And ever since then, he had been chasing the Universal title after Braun Strowman won it. And then he finally won it and, of course, lost it the next week to Roman Reigns at Payback in the Triple Threat match. And ever since then, he's been in this feud with Randy Orton, and I think it's going really good. He's doing a lot of cool things. He's got Alexa Bliss with him. And I think The Fiend, I don't think he's lost any momentum. He's had a lot of big wins this year, and he's number 5 on the list. He was a 2-time Universal Champion this year. Number 4 on the list is going to be the current United States Champion, Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley, he's had a career renaissance this year. Ever since he came back in 2018, he hadn't been doing anything at all, really. But as soon as MVP came back and the Hurt Business started, Lashley MVP saved Bobby Lashley's career, in my opinion. And he's been a dominant U.S. champion, and I really don't see him losing it anytime soon. Maybe in a couple months, but not like in the next number of weeks. He had a really good match at WrestleMania against Aleister Black, where he lost, but it was still a really good match. He had many matches against Apollo Crews for the U.S. title. Those are really good. And right now he's in a feud with Riddle and Jeff Hardy. Thinking that might end up in the Triple Threat or something like that, but I don't really see him losing it too soon. So number 4 on the list is Bobby Lashley. Number 3, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns. The reason Roman Reigns is only number 3 is because he just came back in August. But even though this has been the greatest Roman Reigns of his career, in my opinion, he'll still be number 3 just because he hasn't been there for that long. Because in early 2020, I just don't count that worthy of top 3. He feuded with Baron Corbin, and then he got into the feud with Goldberg, and then he went on hiatus. There was nothing really to talk about. But since he's came back, he's won the Universal title, and he's had those brutal matches against Jey Uso. He's probably the best character they've had in years right now. And at TLC, he's going to defend it against Kevin Owens, and I don't really see him losing it. I don't really see him losing it anytime soon. No time soon. Not even in the next year, in my opinion. But, Roman Reigns, number 3. Number 2 on the list, I'm going to go with Randy Orton. He had that, slight face turn at the end of 2019, early 2020. But then he turned right back heel after the Rumble with Edge, when he attacked Edge, And he's basically been the Legend Killer 2.0. And everything he's did, he's attacked Christian, he's attacked Ric Flair, he's attacked Big Show, he's beat Edge, he's put Edge on the injured list. Randy Orton, he had a great first half of the year. And he arguably had an even better second half of the year. He got into the main event scene. Back in the main event scene, he defeated Drew McIntyre for the WWE title. And he got his 14th world title, and now he's done lost the title, and he's moved on to this feud with The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. It's kind of somewhat a career renaissance for Orton, because he hasn't really been in the main event scene for as long as he has been this year, and stayed in something high profile. He had that feud with Kofi Kingston in 2019, but after that he just didn't really do nothing really substantial. But he stayed involved this year in a high profile status, and you just can't argue Randy Orton has had one of his greatest years ever in his career in 2020. So number 2, Randy Orton. Number 1, person I believe is at the greatest 2020, been the best wrestler in WWE 2020, is the current WWE champion, Drew McIntyre. You look at 2019 where he was he was a heel, he was a henchman of Shane McMahon and Baron Corbin and all that, and I don't even remember what he did later in 2019. I know he lost to Ricochet, but he had a slight face turn headed into the Royal Rumble that year, and he started getting cheered, so they just turned him, completely face at the Rumble when he eliminated Brock Lesnar. He went on to beat Brock Lesnar for the WWE title, and he's had, in my opinion, the greatest WWE Championship reign since CM Punk had his 434-day reign. And I'm not saying that because of length. I'm just saying, like, CM Punk, he had, like, a really good reign. And so did Drew. And that first WWE Championship reign, the feud with Seth Rollins, he feuded with Bobby Lashley. My favorite feud, of course, was the one with Randy Orton. It was long feud. It was just really good. But my second favorite feud of his was actually Dolph Ziggler, because they had some crazy matches. They had the match at Extreme Rules, and they just had some really cool matches. And they were tag team champions at one point, and I just thought it was cool to see them go up against each other for the world title. And right now, he's in a feud with AJ Styles. I say he's gonna be the WWE champion when WrestleMania comes around. I don't know if the Miz might cash in and might win the title, but what I'm saying is he may do that, but by the time WrestleMania comes, Drew McIntyre would have won it back already. So, number 1 on the list, best wrestler of the year, Drew McIntyre. And that was the top 5 WWE wrestlers of 2020.